Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm Bilal and this is Bilal Reads, and today I have my June wrap-up. So I was actually more productive than I thought I would be when I was reading for this month. I actually ended up finishing 6 books. I have them right here for you guys. And overall, I was actually really happy with these books that I ended up reading. Most of them were actually really good. I actually enjoyed them. And so, yeah, this is going to be, of course, like a non-spoilery, like, summary of the book and my thoughts of it. So, let's get into it. So, the first book I read for the month of June was this one, and this is The Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This book has very much been popular on BookTube. I've seen, actually, a lot of BookTubers talking about this book. And I was actually really surprised because I ended up actually really liking this book. So, quick basic plot summary. This book is set in this magical, futuristic science fiction world of Orisha, where magic is outlawed. The people who have the ability to wield magic are called magi. They have white hair. And so this follows our main character, Zili, who comes into contact with Amari, who is the runaway princess of this kingdom, and she possesses a scroll that can bring magic back, and she's being hunted by her brother. That's the basic plot of this book. This book worked really well. It was great characters, great character development, and great world building, and I liked all the characters, even the bad ones. So I actually really liked this book, and I do recommend this. The next book I read for this month of June is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo, and I hated this book so much. I actually was really excited to read this cover. If you guys can see it, I think this cover is actually really pretty. But that's all about all the good things I can say about this book. So this book follows this siren in this universe set in like a alternative Earth, whatever you want to call it, where sirens exist. They're at war with humans. Her mother banishes her from her kingdom. The Siren Queen banishes Lyra, our main character, from the kingdom. She becomes a human, meets the prince, who's like a famed siren hunter, and that's basically the plot. I absolutely hated this book. The character development was super terrible. It was super predictable plot, and the world building of this book was not there at all. Like, it could have been so much better, but it wasn't. So I absolutely hated this book, and I do not recommend this to anybody. The next book I read in the month of June is Legendary by Stephanie Garber. This book is the sequel to Caraval, which was super popular on BookTube, which came out last year. And I really liked this book. It was so much better than the first one. It was everything I wanted the first one to be. It had much better character development. It had a great world building. We actually got an insight to the world of this books. And it was really well done. And so, basic plot summary, this book is set during another night of another 5 nights of Caraval, but it follows Donatella, the sister of the main character in our first book, and that plot, like, change of point of view from the characters was so well done, and it actually made this book worthwhile, and I super recommend it. And then the next book that I read for the month of June was one of the weirdest books that I've ever probably read, and I'm going to speak that into existence, and that is Mun Mun by Jesse Andrews. This book is written by Jesse Andrews, who wrote Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, which I think is pretty popular. I really liked it. And so this book is set in this world where how big you are, like how big you are in size, depends on how rich you are. And this book follows our main character's attempts, because he starts off as the tiniest of the people, to get to the very big. And it follows his attempts to do this, his attempts to become rich with his sister and his best friend. And it's just a really fun ride. It deals with a lot of issues that we face in our society, such as like classism, the like downfall of capitalism, the like privileges that the rich have. And it was actually a really fun read. It was really enjoyable, even though it dealt with very serious topics like that. And it's super weird, and I really do recommend it because it's just so out there, and I love how Jesse Andrews just went with this, and he just created this such an interesting world. And the next book that I read for the month of June is Erotic Stories for Punjabi Widows by Balli, Kaur, Jaswal. This book is very different from the other books on this list because this is a very much an adult contemporary novel. And this book is set in London. It follows our main character, Nikki, who teaches these Punjabi widows how to write, and that's like the basic plot. It deals with other aspects of Punjabi society, such as honor killings, arranged marriages, but it's done in such an interesting way. I really like this book, and I really do recommend this. And I say this in another video, but the main reason I got this book because it had the word Punjabi in it, because I'm Punjabi and I haven't really seen that many books written about us. And I super recommend this book to any of the other Punjabi people who want to see themselves represented in fiction. And then the final book that I read for the month of June is All the Crooked Saints by Maggie Steifvater. Maggie Steifvater is a really popular author. She wrote this like trilogy of books about wolves back when Twilight was really big, and then she did the Raven Boys, I think is what, the Raven Cycle or something like that. But I haven't read those, and this is the first book I picked up by her. I got this at the library, and it was actually the main reason I got it was because it's really pretty. And so this book is set in Colorado in the 60s, and it follows this, it's like a family saga almost, and it follows this family called the Lasorias who have this special ability. They can grant you miracles. So if you come to them and you need a miracle, they'll grant it to you. And so it takes all the darkness you have and turns it into a physical form. But the second part of the miracle is that you have to defeat that physical form of the darkness on your own, and the family is not allowed to tell you how. This book follows this family when one of the family members decides that they're going to help one of the pilgrims who've come to them. I really like this book. The plot was kind of predictable, and yeah, that's like the main criticism I have with this book is because I knew how it would end, just because I'm good at guessing stuff like that. But I really like the characters, and the main reason that this book worked for me was the writing style. It's written in magical realism, and Maggie Steifvater is really good at that. She really brought this world to life, and that's the main reason why I recommend this book. Thank you all for tuning in, and this was my big book haul for the month of June. I ended up reading 6 books, and overall I actually really liked them, except for one book that I already mentioned. But overall it was a very excellent month of reading, and thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video, and please like and subscribe and comment down below. Thanks.